Just an hour ago here in this sacred space, I had the privilege of standing beneath the chuppah, the wedding canopy, with David Hanowitz and Eric Gottlieb, surrounded by close friends and family, as we celebrated the first legally sanctioned wedding between two men on the pavement of Temple Beth.
The recent recognition of same-sex marriage in Florida provided the backdrop for a spirited panel discussion at Temple Beth El in Boca Raton. Religious leaders and activists, including CNBC host and South Florida resident Suze Orman, explored the challenges and opportunities for the state's LGBT community. For Rabbi Dan Levin of Temple Beth El, who invoked the spirit and example of Martin Luther King in a stirring speech to open the event, the issues facing the LGBT community are important to him on multiple levels.
On a personal level, it's because it kills me that people that I know and love who want to form households are unable to do so. It kills me when I see people that I know who are suffering injustice and who are denied the basic civil rights that we all take for granted, of being able to live where we want, or to be able to count on job security and not be discriminated against in housing or employment, or the simple right to want to form a household with someone that you love.
Levin also touched on the broader ramifications of Florida becoming the 36th state to allow same-sex marriage.
Well, I think, there are lots of times when we look back at what we thought was right in our nation's history with a sense of embarrassment and shame. We used to think it was okay for us to think of an African person as 3/5 of a human being. That it was okay to say to somebody, because of the color of their skin, you had to go to a different water fountain, or you couldn't play in a particular park, or eat at a particular lunch counter, or stay in a particular hotel or motel along the nation's highways. Now we look at that with embarrassment. How could we ever have thought that that was okay? And I am confident that years from now, and maybe less than years from now, God willing, we'll look back at the fact that we used to make gay marriages illegal, that we used to root out gay men and women who sought to serve in our nation's armed forces with millions of dollars to keep them from their service because of their sexuality, that there were anti-sodomy laws, that we'll look at those things with the same sense of shame and embarrassment as we do the other scars in our nation's history.
Suze Orman, the New York Times bestseller and world-renowned financial guru, drew a standing ovation from the Temple Beth El crowd for sharing her own same-sex journey.
I don't know if you're aware of it, but about 2 years ago or so, I was on national television and I said, if the state of Florida does not make it legal, I am leaving this state, because I spend too much money here to not be recognized and honored for who I am. I'm just so happy that I really don't have to. So I love what's happened. Let's see what the Supreme Court does.
Part of the challenge that Orman sees with the gay community is how it sees itself moving forward.
Here's what's interesting, is that it's one thing to have something become legal. It's another thing to adopt it within yourself. So many people tonight I've been meeting and they go, please, this is my partner. And I go, are you married? And they go, yes. And I go, this isn't your partner, this is your spouse. And I don't think even the gay couples are understanding what it means to be married, the terminology, all the great benefits they're going to get out of it. So it's going to be a while, but it's a great transformation for all.
This is Kevin Kaminsky for Boca Mag TV.
It's a great intro. The one thing that you forgot to say, Holly, is that she is also a lesbian.